What's up, traders? It's Trader Timbo back with another video. I just wanted to hop on real quick and kind of review my day. So had a good start to the day today, and then kind of got a little bit out of control, but we'll get into that. But coming into today, we had, well, this is the start of the day here, so we had yesterday's good move up. So here's the high from yesterday. We kind of consolidated overnight, kind of had a little pop above previous day high, came back in, and we kind of had this most recent support right here. So that's kind of the pre-market low that I was looking at as a support level, and then I was looking at this previous day high level, and we're kind of in between those two levels when we started. So I was kind of looking for a move out of them, right, to see which way they want to take it. So, oops, let me go to the 5-minute chart here. So anyways, you can see we ended up rejecting the previous day high here to start, rejected it again, came down to the pre-market low support that I have here, and we end up bouncing off of that. We get a move up back above the 9 and the 50 EMAs here, and then we end up getting this strong move up, right? And at the same time, I also look at NVIDIA and Apple as well, and also obviously ES when I'm trading NQ. And there was some pretty good strength all around with everything at this time. So it was looking like this thing could just keep going. I could just see the momentum. You could see this candle got bigger as we got to that previous day high level here. So I was thinking, all right, I want to see if we can get like a sign that we're going to continue. So the next candle, or this candle right here, I'm going to circle it. This is the entry candle that I took. You can see it opened up. Let me delete that now. But it opened up. It kind of wicked down below the level. And then when it flipped back red and was about to break the high of the previous candle and also be back above that previous day high level, I took it long right here. And I did it with less size. I only used 1 micro, and I put my stop, basically it was going to be under this wick, somewhere down in this area, right? If it were to fail and come back down, right? So I used a little bit less size on it because it was a little bit far from the 9 EMA. I like to enter a little bit closer, but since we had this really strong momentum, the sellers tried to take it down, they flipped it back up, the buyers took control. So for me, it was worth it to take a trade on this, right? So I took the long, ended up moving up nicely, and I was targeting up near with this pre-market high right here, and then we had this kind of zone above as well. So anywhere in that area was kind of be the target for me. So we end up moving up, and we got close to that zone, and at the same time, I think ES was also right at its pre-market high as well when this candle was kind of getting close to this zone. So I trailed my stop tight, and I got trailed out right here. And then we're also kind of getting a little bit farther from the 9 EMA. I mean, look at all these 5-minute green candles in a row. I mean, at some point it's going to have to pull back, right? So, we hit my target. We got basically to this next target as well, and then we started to come back. So I had my stop kind of trailing up as we're moving closer and getting farther extended from the 9 EMA. So at that point, we came back down, and honestly, I was up, I think around a little over $200 on the day at that point. And honestly, if I had used 2 micros, I probably would have just walked away. Should have been done. But I only used 1, and I was trading my Apex, my 50K funded accounts, or 2 of them at least, or I have 2 of them right now. And you have to have, I think, 5 profitable days of $250 or more in order to get a payout. So I was like, all right, I need 30 more bucks. I'm going to see if I can get another trade in. So what do? I basically start trading based on my P&L, right, and trying to hit a profit target instead of just trading setups, right? Because at this point right here, like we're going sideways. Like there's not really much going on. You can see the 9 is flat at this point. And I tried taking a long right here. We kind of got back above this pre-market high level right here. We came back to it, and I thought maybe we'd get a bounce off it. And we ended up coming down. I stopped out, so I gave a little bit back there. Same thing again. We moved back up. I thought maybe we're going to go and break up to the new highs. Rejected, came back down, took another loss, back under the 9 EMA. So at that point, it's like, all right, now I'm now I'm only up small green on the day. So still fighting to try to get back to that $250. So we got back above the 9, took a long, got out some here. Looked like we are going to bounce off this level again, so I added one, took a break even on the rest of it when it came back down here. But at this point, like there's no good setups, right? Like I'm just trading to try to hit a profit target, right? So I got kind of sucked in and distracted by, the prop firm, like their rules or, the targets and all that, instead of just trading like good setups, right? So like not a good example of how to trade today, right? Like I said, if I would have used 2 micros on this first trade, like I would have easily hit that 250 and I would have been done. But like I only used 1 because we're a little bit farther from the 9, and it ended up causing me to think like, all right, I just need to get that 250, and I kept trying to get it, and I was taking losses, trying to battle my way back, and I ended up basically over trading the rest of the session. Had another one, so yeah, took that one there, the break even on the rest of it, took one here long. I think I actually got close to it, to the 250 on this one, and then the second contract, they just dumped it on this brand new candle really quickly, and I got trailed out back near break even on the second half of that one. And then yeah, just took another long here, got stopped out. Tried going long again here, got stopped out. And then I finally did catch, it was moving down really strong here. And it looked like, obviously we had this big rejection here. We couldn't stay above the 9, and we came back underneath this this pre-market high level. We couldn't hold above it. And it started to really move. So I think I got in, like right here. It's hard to see, but I think right here I got in, and then I added one more here because it was starting to really pick up steam, and then I got out down here, and I ended up hitting that 250 profit target on this trade because it really picked up steam, but definitely not a good day of trading for me. Like all of this could have been avoided. I got caught in trading for my P&L, right, instead of trading my system, my process, which honestly I should have been done by, usually I'm done by 1 o'clock, right? That's usually the latest I want to trade till. And then when this kind of happened, I think I got a little frustrated with that rejection and being so close to hitting that 250 here that I wanted to hit it. So I tried another time and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, just not a great day of trading for me. Like I said, ended up working out, but when you start to trade based on, results or profit targets or anything like that, like it can cause you to get off track and cause you to overtrade. And that's exactly what I did today. So I got lucky, honestly, that ended up working out, but not proud of it, and definitely have some things to clean up moving forward. I'm not really used to those profit target minimum, target days for Apex. These are like the new accounts, so I'm gonna have to get used to like being okay with just still walking away, even if you're green, but like maybe a smaller green, maybe you're up like $150, $100 on the day. Like, like you don't always have to hit that, that minimum profit target if you're going to have a green day, right? You can still walk away, up $100 or even a couple $100 and still not hit that 250, right? But just know, like over time, you're going to have some good days where you have, bigger P&L days, and eventually, if you just trade normally over time, you're going to hit all your profit targets, right? You don't need to force to try to hit, whatever the the minimum profit target is for the minimum required amount of days or whatever. So I got caught in that trap today. Luckily, I came out okay, but just a lesson learned, because it could have got ugly, right? Like, I easily could have, lost more on these and ended up turning the day like bad red, right? So just have to be careful to not get sucked into thinking about profit targets and all that stuff, because it's really just a bad. It's not the way you want to be focusing, right? You want to be focusing on just waiting for your setup, following your system, following your process, right? Like, these are all the things I always talk about, and I let the profit target goal get to me today. So I'm not perfect by any means, but when my focus is on the right things, I can have some pretty good trades. But today I just got a little bit off track. But luckily I didn't have to learn a hard lesson today. I got to learn the lesson while still being okay with the accounts. So hopefully this will help someone else who might be, maybe you'll experience this on your accounts, right? Where you think to yourself, oh man, I'm like only $50 away from hitting this 250. Like, maybe I'll take one more trade. Like, no, don't do it. Like, unless there's that actual high quality setup, just be okay with where you're at on the day. And, think of me when you think about taking another trade when it's not an actual setup, right? So, for me, like I said, I like when these EMAs are starting to go sideways and we're like chopping around, we're not respecting the 9 EMA. Like, that's like, there's no momentum, right? Like, it's not great trading conditions for me, right? I like when the 9's sloping, we get the pull back to the 9 or near it, right? Near level, and we got that good momentum. Like, that's my bread and butter, right? But when we're kind of going sideways, obviously, yeah, things can pick up, but like, we didn't get any follow through, right? But beyond this level here, on this push that is immediately rejected. If we had gotten a good push, right? But ideally it would have happened earlier in the day, like maybe around this point, around here, like we get a good push up and then like a pullback retest on the level or back near like a good sloping 9 EMA. Like, that's what I usually want to see. And like, even like this pullback right here was decent, like back to the 9 EMA. You got a good move back up here. So, but once it starts to not be respected and we're going sideways, just chopping around, like, for me, that's the time to, take your foot off the gas and probably walk away, right? But just sit on hands and wait for that good momentum to come back in, if it even does come back in, right? Which it really never did today, besides, later in the day here to the downside a bit. But it was still pretty choppy, even for the rest of the day. But like I said, I like to be done, by usually 1 p.m. at the latest, right? Because even lately, I've been trying to be done earlier, even like 12:30, around that lunchtime. So, but just being aware of what you're focusing on. If you're focusing on just trying to hit a profit target, you're going to make mistakes like I did today, right? So I know it's not easy, but the more that we focus on the money and trying to hit targets like that, like, the worse we're going to trade, right? So if we can just stay focused on just waiting for those good setups, right? And then capitalizing on them when they come, or at least taking shots at them when they come. But at least when you're taking a trade, you want to be taking it when there's good conditions, when all your checklist, whatever your system is, wait for the things to line up, before you take the trade, right? But if we're just taking trades just to try to make an extra $30 to hit a target, you can end up doing what I did today and end up digging yourself a bit of a hole that you're kind of hovering around, like just trying to get back up again. Then you end up going down. Like, it's not good. So learn from my mistakes today, and hopefully this video helps you guys out. So that's really all I have for today. So my let me see if I have the accounts. So my 2 funded accounts, I made I think around 280-ish bucks on each of these today. It's a little bit later in the day, so it doesn't show the P&L from earlier. So I have these two that I'm hopefully can get payouts on, and then once that happens, then I'll try to pass the rest of these evals here. So, but I just want to be funding them, with, payouts, right? So that's the goal, right? So try to get accounts, funded, try to get payouts on those accounts, and then use those profits to fund more accounts, right? That's kind of like the process, and that's how you end up scaling more accounts once you're in a good momentum with your trading. So don't try to buy a bunch of evals all at once if you're not already getting payouts, right, guys? So slow things down and just try to do things the right way. Don't do what I did today, right? Don't trade based on your P&L targets, right? That's the lesson from today. So hopefully you guys liked the video. Appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, if I brought you any value. And if you guys wouldn't mind, if you are going to buy any accounts from Apex or Lucid, I think they're around 85% off on Apex still, and Lucid around 50% off, I think, on your first couple, and then I think it goes down a little bit after that on Lucid. But if you guys wouldn't mind using the code Timbo next time you go to buy some evals, I would appreciate it. But like I said, don't buy a bunch of evals at one time. Take it slow and do things the right way. Trying to hit a home run with buying 10 evals at one time if you haven't had payouts yet, it can be a trap, and you're just going to keep losing money. So don't do that. Take it the slow way and build good habits and skills. And then once you start getting payouts, then you start to look to scale to get more accounts at one time. But don't try to rush it, right? Take the slow and steady route. If you keep trying to rush it, you're going to keep failing. And really, the more that you slow down and take your time with it, like, the faster that success is actually going to come for you with your trading, right? So just like me today, like trying to force things, trying to rush to get a payout, trying to get that profit target, I almost screwed up and could have tilted and gave back the whole day. Luckily I was able to come out of it okay, but learn from my mistakes, right? I'm not perfect, still trying to improve every day myself. So all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. All right, guys, have a good day. See ya.